Nothing ever evolves for just one reason. If somebody tells you that this one particular mechanism is so important that other drivers aren't even worth considering, mistrust them. They are telling you to stop being curious. When we talked about sauropod physiology, I was surprised at the number of comments we got that were repeating this old claim, that sauropods were only able to evolve such long necks and such large bodies because there was more oxygen in the air back then. This claim comes from an attempt by Hengst and co-authors in 1996 to resolve an apparent contradiction. See, they had mathematically modeled an Apatosaurus and found that any activity more energetic than just puttering about would require more oxygen than its system could actually deliver. But we knew from trackways that they did move faster than that. So, instead of using a modern atmosphere, which is just over a fifth oxygen, they plugged in what they thought a Jurassic atmosphere was like, with over a third of it being oxygen. This was based on measurements they took of gases trapped in bubbles in amber. This seemed like a solution to the riddle. They needed more oxygen, but there was that much more available. And they were wrong. We now know that sauropod breathing was not limited to just using the rib muscles. The shape of the ribs suggests that there was a scaffold supporting more rigid gas exchange tissues, and the pneumaticity of the vertebrae spreads out from air sacs. Our null hypothesis, our baseline, needs to be a more bird-like breathing system. Actually measuring Mesozoic atmospheres is very challenging. The method of measuring the bubbles trapped in amber has been almost universally rejected. Other, more indirect methods use things we can measure, like carbon and sulfur, to then calculate what the oxygen content must have been. If we take current modeling and average them, we only find levels as high as Hengst et al. Needed at the very beginning of the Triassic. Oxygen then fell from a third of the atmosphere when sauropodomorphs first evolved to a little over a quarter by the time we find huge ones. And levels would waver, but more or less stay there through the Jurassic and Cretaceous, which is still higher than today. I don't want to undersell it, but if oxygen was what was determining sauropod size and neck length, wouldn't we expect the biggest sauropods with the longest necks to occur when oxygen was the highest? So if somebody tells you that everything else we talked about is just not important because of this one simple thing, just tell them that our understanding of prehistory has advanced since the 90s, and theirs can too.